right. I don't know why this is doing this. Did I see it? Welcome, Max. Nice to see you here. Hello, everybody. Gonna see if we can get the thing working. And the previous times. Anyway, today's episode is me. Currently having an alcohol-free beer, and in comes the music. I'm wondering if this track actually from Universal is copyrighted as well and licensed, because they did in the game make some quite strict rules about that you can mute the licensed music. I'm wondering if this is actually part of it. Else, here goes my favorite sounds. We have today raspberry soda and an alcohol-free beer. Let's go. All right. I haven't actually played this yet, so I've just booted it up, and so we don't have anything in here. I played the first game. I was meant to make a yeah, I'm kind of sick today. I'm trying to lose weight, so I'm alcohol free. But besides, I'm gonna have red wine tonight because I'm going to my mom's place. Today is the night of Morden. The long story about the ancient person Morden, who was hiding from soldiers among a lot of geese and stuff. Therefore, tonight here in Denmark, you eat duck. Perfect sense, right? Anyway, chaos theory. Small sound when moving about. Fine. I have already set the settings. All should be go. What's the difference? Oh. What if scenarios? Oh, nice. Well, challenge. They already have DLC. The game came out yesterday. Try this chaos theory. Okay.
Jurassic World. This is where our story begins. Scientific breakthrough without any consideration of the consequences. So nature did what it does and unleashed chaos. This time we were deeper into the illusion of control, and the chaos brought something much worse. And for a moment, we remembered how precious life is. But time has a funny way of softening our memory of what it's like to lose control. And ambition. Ambition is a persistent thing. For the dinosaurs left behind, time was becoming immaterial. From miracles of science to assets destined for exploitation. Perhaps it's time we reflect on the true nature of nature. An endless cycle with one goal: survival. And this means that dinosaurs and humanity have to find a way to work out their differences.
Different from the other previous games that we've been streaming here on the channel is that this game does not mute when I exit it. Nice, because that means that I can start drawing stuff over here, and we can actually talk about stuff and mark out things. Anyway, let's try and see.
To us, a desert is a wasteland, devoid of anything but the most extreme.
Why is his voice different?
But creatures
cinematic
once thrived in these lands hundreds of millions of years ago. Given the geological history that we're dealing with, dinosaurs walking among the tumbleweeds isn't that much of a stretch. The current situation, where dinosaurs are running wild,
I do sometimes.
untenable.
Mainly just Dehumanizer. And what's the other one called?
We're left with a problem or
Got the name.
an opportunity.
Not the Igniter and not the
This is where
Weaponizer
you
stuff. I
come
use the Crotas,
They've
the
ignored my warnings before, but maybe this time
not
with you,
referencer.
it's
Called.
going to be different.
The other one that isn't a humanizer, which can take one sound and then you can feed it other things, and kind of cool.
Okay, I guess an introduction is in order. I'm Cabot Finch, Assistant Director of the U.S. Department of Fish and Wildlife. I know it sounds important, because it is, but let's not get bogged down in labels and titles and organizational flowcharts.
His voice is awfully
Make this
clean
easy.
for
You work
being
for me. See,
a
nothing to it.
voiceover on radio.
You'll be working with the experts. This is Claire Deering and Owen Grady.
And yes, we have first-hand experience with the dinosaurs. I'm the former operations manager at Jurassic World. Owen and I actually helped build...
I remember the first
And
game having some
unfortunately, we
nice
were there to
features in
witness
regards to how the
destruction.
dinosaurs sounded, and also
this
when
is
we were
Owen.
building
He works with velociraptors.
stuff like these fences where it
You
would
could
stretch
call me a
out.
dinosaur wrangler.
I know that in Wise they
Actually,
had
I'm
this
an
really
animal
nice
behaviorist. I was just
I think when you were bending the fence, it would
Well,
sound
this
really nice,
happens.
like metal.
Okay.
Bending. That was nice.
So we'll need to get a few things in place ASAP. Start with a response facility, equipped with both a Ranger Team 4x4
and a capture team helicopter.
Main method for making slow-mo sounds would probably be to imitate the sound as you imagine it in slow-mo, and then do that instead of just slowing down stuff. So for the propeller, you would probably, instead of making a sound and slowing it down, you would probably forcefully have a low-pass filter on just some sound and go something like that, and add some Doppler effect. Could be. Anyway, let's listen to the UI here. They had this in the first game as well, whenever we shake buildings. But this seems kind of weird, that it's playing kind of loud, even if I stretch it, move it just a little bit, but if I do... Little, like it's not stopping whenever we want it to. That's...
We are making excellent progress, so let's stay focused. Next step, building a backup generator. Then feeding the energy it creates to the response facility. And also make sure the building is connected to the path network. It only does us good if it's operational.
Oh wow, this is very stereo. Left, right. Here in the middle, it's like it's a little too sensitive. I'm barely touching it. Still makes noises. Can we rotate that bit? So this here, clearly, when rotating starts, something that simply, like, the pitch is 0, and then pitches up, and then play this loop. And then when we stop, let's do this. So notice stuff. Let's turn off the music. As we, not that we don't want to listen to the music. Seriously, can't hear it. Yeah, it could be that it's stereo. I mean, I was moving it very crazily heavy to. But this is not a stereo. This is very mono because the listener is probably where we are. Like, listener is currently probably here, right in our faces. Anyway, rotating. The pitch is down. So Yeah. So probably some sort of, probably just one event. Start rotation, stop rotation, and was. I know that they used was. Well, I know they did in the first one, so I assume they would do the same. Ability path. That's this one. There we go.
Hey, Claire. We may have trouble tracking this dinosaur from the ground, and even more trouble if we're lucky enough to find it.
Then the sensible thing is to take a capture team helicopter. You can trank it from the air.
See? I like the way I think.
Hmm.
And locate dinosaurs. Name of. Let's find a dinosaur. There's one over here. Did we get it? Yeah. Shot missed. Right, so we do have VO feedback. What if I want to take a photo? Engine is different here. Oh. Oh. Anyway. But we have to find a Baronix. That's not it, because that was a Triceratops. This helicopter here is awfully loud. I was applying for jobs at literally every company locally. Then I was working as much as possible a lot with people who were in the short film industry locally, trying to just get as much audio experience as possible. Eventually, back then, I would then send emails around for an internship because of my studies. I was at the university studying set and sound. And then, hang on, lost this. And then, after applying for an internship, suddenly that picked up. Got the internship. Once I had the internship, it was not that big a deal any longer, because then all my job applications came back not positive, but at least a lot of companies wanted to talk. How do we get back to the helicopter? Oh. We need to find that damn Baronix. There we go. No wonder he kept saying that I missed. Since we didn't hit this one.
successful.
I knew you'd do it. Never had a doubt.
Really?
Maybe one or two.
Well,
This helicopter here.
usual. I'll take
Why?
it. Now,
Like-
where do we take this dinosaur?
This sound.
We have the enclosure.
This
We
sound.
just need you to deliver.
Hey, don't I always? Wait, you don't have to answer that.
Alright. A little louder here. And out here. What if we go into this one here? It's very close. Anyway. Transport. I like this helicopter. It's pretty cool.
Acknowledging asset collection request.
Hmm. Why are you so sad, Kerman?
John Hammond was concerned about what would happen if dinosaurs lived in the wild. It adds a whole new level of challenge, and perhaps opportunity.
So a different helicopter and a different helicopter sound. That's nice.
Asset has been collected.
Definitely. Additional. Because I'm trying to fly the helicopter that idea. The helicopter sound does actually speed depending on game speed.
Asset transported.
I instantly recognized this dinosaur. Kind of hard to forget once you're trapped in a room with one. We couldn't save that
Sorry.
mix, but we
Tried to
can
breathe
certainly help this one.
The alcohol-free beer. Let's do it. Here comes raspberry soda.
There's not a lot out there for the dinosaur to consume.
All right.
We'll need a
So
feeder inside the perimeter of that enclosure.
Hungry dinosaurs make me nervous.
the game looks very different on Xbox
You
One.
there.
You probably can. Environment. What does it want? Comfort. Comfort. Fine. Place down a. Hey, this one can have two. There we go. Pretty sure we can shoot it again. Let me try. See here if it actually says something when it's falling over.
Okay. We need to get a full assessment of the dinosaur's health. Utilize a ranger team vehicle. Owen will help you get a status of the animal's overall welfare.
The one thing that I remember from the
And
first
next
game was
move.
that all these cars
Do we really need that? A plan? I mean,
have quite
I've always
crazy
been more
radio
into this
messages,
make
radio
up as I
music
go
playing from them.
kinda
So when
guy.
they were driving by
you what,
the camera, if you
If
had
this
them
doesn't
automated,
work, we'll try
you would
your
hear
way.
all this crazy
that sort of sounds like a plan.
Zamba music and whatever they were listening to in the car. It was pretty cool. Actually. Post. How do we even get in? Try and see how this car is actually made. That's nice. Also, one of the things that I remember from this game quite clearly, the first one, was that they were really actively trying to sound like the films, like all the movies, but didn't have all the sounds, from what I remember, provided to them by Universal. So the graphics are bad on Xbox, you're saying? For 300 Swati. Oh, okay. Sorry to hear that. How do I...
While we can't replicate what we had on the islands, we still have to do what we can to get the dinosaurs more comfortable with their current surroundings here
Oh, it
in
needed
Arizona.
rocks.
Sunscreen and drinks by the pool? How's that sound?
Are you seriously asking? Or pretend asking?
Okay, Claire, how about we add some preferred terrain to their pens instead? Better?
Yeah. Seems like... Actually, let's can we... You're right about that. Let's try and see. This is dirt. This sounds like a little asphalty, but let's try over here on what is actually asphalt. It is different. There's a hint. Oh, there is a hint. There is actually different skid mark sounds depending on dirt and asphalt. That's a nice touch. I mean, it's maybe a little too much for driving on dirt, like a little too asphalty, but I really enjoy the fact that there is actually a skid mark sound on the... Like this. There is here on this area, there is actually asphalt sounds, different, and also along the way down here. It's nice. Here are the Baronics. People talking. Building has ambience. I'm wondering if we build a second unit next to this one, will we then have two generator sounds when we are here, and when we zoom out, will it still have two? Let's try. Oh, come on. Let's get rid. And we have power sounds on both. Now we can't zoom that much out. One thing that was kind of hoping would be that instead of, we can draw again here, be that instead of having this sound here and sound here, then when we zoom out, it would have been really cool if it would then spawn an emitter here in the middle. Oh, you can't see. It would spawn an emitter here in the middle instead, so that this could like track, okay, there's 2 or 3 or 4 variations of this building in this vicinity. Whenever we zoom out, it will play one voice as for like a distant type of sound for this building. Maybe they have that, but currently it sounds like that they have just One sound on this one, one sound on this one. Like, yeah, they just have loops, both of them. Anyway, ensure that the surroundings. Comfort. It wants rocks. Nice placement. Where is the Baronings? Again, they have this scratching sound when moving this. Pretty cool. Where is the dinosaur? There it is. Missing rock. Yeah. Okay, so we can paint rock text. This is also specialized. Where it's built. Yeah, it does. Building in progress sound does speed up, and also we found out that the helicopter actually also does speed up in terms of animation
inside their
when you're speeding up the game.
Sounds crazy.
So let's
I
try.
know, but
We
trust me.
currently we're building this here, but if we speed up the sound, it's the same. But you can hear the helicopter. Try the car. Let's try and hear it, and then when we speed up the game. No, that would probably in this. Hear this. That is probably just an overall multiplier. Because it's just speeding it up. But if this was a feature that you would rely on in terms of gameplay back and forth, not as much something that you would do manually, then if the helicopter was like the main thing, you might have two different assets for that. It can be done with various things like top hierarchy, pitch value, simply just pitches everything in terms of the game of play. This is the game speed, but an alternative would be to have a state that pitches it up, well, or simply switches between game state or unit. Here it is again. Nice. Actually get it to cover the whole thing. What? Oh. No Ranger team. Oh.
I'm getting reports of dinosaurs running freely around the facility, Claire.
The reports may be accurate, but they don't paint a complete picture of our current status.
Angry dinosaurs on the loose. What am I missing?
They're not angry.
Oh,
They're
what?
simply
He's in the
acting
water
on
now.
instincts. The more threatened the dinosaurs feel, the more hostile they'll become.
Especially if they sense survival is at stake.
But it is. Both theirs and ours.
Yeah, but only we know that.
Well, for now, anyway.
We'll start by tranquilizing one of the dinosaurs from the helicopter, and then have a transport team bring it back to the facility.
Great.
Yeah, one for near and one for far away, and that's a nice solution. We heard that in that game. They did also in Age of Empires and the other couple of games that we can try. Vehicle under threat? What the fuck? Why are you even driving there? Anyway. Let's get these vehicles out of the way. Move along so that we can listen to the shit. Right. Something is definitely pitching up when we pitch up the game, like the autos and stuff in the background. And something is also muffled slightly when we're speeding it up. So that dinosaur, when he was walking about, its footsteps are not loud. Its footsteps are not as loud when we have it at speed 3. Versus speed 1. Parameter is definitely... have water here. I would assume that this is just a blend container that fades between distance of stuff. Could also be that they, in game code, know specifically at what height they are and simply just fade stuff in and out. What if we move real fast? It'd be pretty decent. But definitely more layers of sounds, depending on where you are. Go find these... air-tops that we had before. Hey, we're over here. Native effect. Come on, get the passport. It's flying around. Sounds a little too loud. Eat it. Very spatulized. What if I... Now we can hear this fence. This is very much like what happened in... Yeah, the gun and the flying about is a little loud. Well. Obstructed, goddamn. So, what if we zoom out? I mean, definitely some sort of filtering is going on, but it's not much. So if we zoom all the way out, this still sounds like we're quite close. Oh, come on. Be serious. Yep. What if we want to? Let's give him a nice little round facility. Go. This is when the game is paused. Something like this. Like what? So. I would consider it a bug, and then and then
En route to
probably
pick up
just
the
change
asset.
the mixing, really.
Heading to collect the asset. Heading to pick up the asset.
And they'll probably want. So when it comes to something that sounds too loud, too far away, I would just turn it down and change the attenuation. Especially in Wise, there's no hiccup in terms of having multiple attenuations. So having a specific attenuation for literally every and each and every sound is not a problem. So if a certain sound is too loud or too low, and it needs to be turned down over a distance, I would just give it a new
Commencing asset
attenuation.
transit. Transportation underway.
This is definitely intended by the sound designer, I would say. Signed. Task.
Asset transportation complete. Transportation complete.
Status check.
Overall, I'd say our operations are improving. I'm confident we may get a handle on this yet. But I'm also concerned, specifically about our biodiversity. Still, for now, let's focus on getting the dinosaurs safe and secure, as well as building
Safe
some
and
additional
secure.
viewing galleries.
Who cares
that
about
Kit and
dinosaur
staff can use to monitor
health
the animals.
or anything? I didn't get that. But let's. Missing open space. Okay, so how do we provide them with? In space. These the UI sounds are different pitches and going up and down, and then UI sounds are quite clean. All. Anyway, open space. How do we add that? Does it really want to be? Very classical eagle sound. Not annoying. Oh. Well, too little variation on the deleting part of these. I mean, this is little. Open space. Add open space. I have plenty of open space. Yeah, this is probably also just one or two sounds being pitched. Danger to guests, because there are plenty of guests here. How do we even add the open space? Are there even people here? God damn it. Who let them in? Huh. Apparently I did. On. What do the people say? Can't hear. That? Oh. Hey Jason, yeah I did. This is quite similar to it actually. Some of them had some really nice stuff about when releasing dinosaurs into the wild, the emitter moving back and forth. So emitter was, the sound was not a 2D sound, but the emitter was placed on the listener as you were watching the cinematic, but as you were zooming out from the cinematic, the emitter would still stick to the building, or become stuck to the building. So if you went away and then came back, the sound would be on the building. Nice. They're missing water now. Good. There you go. Water. Oof. No? And now they should have their 95 comfort. Anyway, yes. Again, I did play the first one. I played it quite a bit. Found it a little too difficult towards the end of the game. Fun, but sound design was pretty cool. I did actually speak to Matthew Florians and a couple of other of the sound designers from the team about it because I was planning to do videos about it, but never got to that part. Which makes this interesting.
With so many of the animals running free, our priority...
From what I remember, the UI is slightly
as many of
different
them
in
as
this game.
possible. We can coordinate our efforts from an expedition center. Get one built, and we'll take it from there.
I do think that the radio voices of these people are a little too clean for coming from a radio, especially because they have slight reverberation on it. From my perspective, it just sounds like I'm actually hearing the recording booth they're in and not actually... Yes. And speed up the process. So actually, the building animation is faster, but the sound of the building is actually not. That actually answers the questions we had before. That's interesting that doesn't do that while other things do that all the time. The pitching up and down. It's definitely something that's intended as well. I don't know. We don't know why, but it is. Power generators consume time. Fuel. Supply with fuel and food.
I'll be able to track the dinosaurs, but some help would sure be appreciated.
I'm still thinking that this
Claire
is Chris
tells me
Pratt.
there's some
Like,
candidates to recruit.
when I see his
Scientists.
face.
Hopefully you could find one as rough and tumble as I am.
A new scientist. Maybe this is like a meta game. I'm supposed to remember which one they just showed us. Expensive one.
You seeing this, Claire?
Yeah, I sure am. This is our first live capture opportunity.
Let's not miss it.
We should assign that scientist you just hired to the task. Agreed? Owen, you there? I think you're still muted.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Good idea.
That's
What do we got to lose? You know, except the...
The humor here is the level of humor here is high. Higher than my level. Here comes more raspberry soda. Let's see. Neighborhood dispatch.
Before the remote capture teams return,
The sounds here are a little different from the first
Dinosaurs.
game.
think of it as welcoming
But-
you back home.
But this map is, of course, the same because the world looks the same. Right. Ah, so zooming in and out. This plays probably the same sound because if we zoom really slowly. And it pitches depending on height from the map. But if we do it real fast, there's the click sound and then there's the woof 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 sound in the background. I actually don't like this, but not gonna complain. It's not that it sounds bad. It's just, The filtered sound in the back is too much. Incident in Vegas. There's one thing that I remembered from the previous games was that when you were in map mode, I was sure that of course this is all muffled and stuff, but there was something about which dinosaur you were on top of. Cheers, Max. Bon appetit. Took us with podcast stream I need to attend to now. Anyway. Cheers, Max. See you some other time, alright? Capture. Still. Closure forward. Oh. There we go. Now the dinosaurs coming in. Time is real time. Okay. So now we can actually calculate how much faster the game is progressing by counting the second. If we want to. Now it's coming down. Let's see. Transport.
Asset in transit. Asset being transported.
How many are we getting?
In progress.
Getting 4. Oh. Helicopters in high-speed
Delivery
mode.
has been completed.
They each and every one of them have a sound.
Asset
Okay.
delivery.
Instead of, I would have preferred, well, not preferred, but I would have liked a feature that would simply allow us to say this helicopter here and this other I can't draw it. This other helicopter over there would have
Okay. Who's watching who?
I'm not following you, Owen.
Well, it's just like the dinosaurs are always watching us, so shouldn't we be watching them?
Yes, we should. Once we have the dinosaurs comfortably settled into their enclosures, we'll need viewing galleries.
That's what I'm saying. Only, you said it.
all right. Our round fruit. Just in this dream. Good. We have 20 minutes, so let's. Interesting. Ground fruit. Happens. I'm wondering if you could actually purposely serve them something wrong so that they die. I believe that was actually, to some extent, previously. But I like the fact that these trees provide high food and low food and ground food. Different from need comfort. Open space, but you do have open space. Probably all. And there you go. Water. Magic. Water magically appearing like that. Would have been nice to have back in the day. Back when I was a kid, we didn't have any water. Because I'm that old. It's decent ambience. I do think that when you're this high up, that's something that we hear in other games too. It sounds like there's an awful lot of wind when being up high. A little too much, I think. These UI sounds are quite nice when speed up. Yeah, so again, when speeding up the game, there's a slight muffling of a lot of sounds. Like not only speeding them up, but also muffling. So I'm assuming all these animation sounds, animation tagged sounds play during gameplay. So those screams don't seem to be pitched at all, but definitely something going on with the way it's muffling and sort of like lowering the amplitude of the sounds of the footsteps and a couple of other things as well. This is like super safe. And why is the AI so stupid? Oh wow. Okay, this game is going to require heavy management. I like that, but it's pretty hardcore. It seems like old school theme park that was extremely expensive. It was extremely hardcore to manage if you were on the higher levels of the game. And definitely I would need to replay this game. This wind here actually sounds like we're by the ocean. Now we are as far away as possible. The camp, but we can still hear the dinosaurs. It means that I'm finding this attenuation kind of strange because some sounds have really long attenuations. What if we go down here by the... There are frogs and stuff on the water, and all these cicadas. Anyway. Ah, fuck. God damn it. Speed up. built the wrong way. Not exactly what we wanted. Oh, so we can actually. Oh. So we have viewing facility. Like that. Thank you. This construction loop here. Guys, the guy that is screaming in the background. Let's try and build something else. Then see if we can actually hear if it's the same sound. Alright, shall we try?
All personnel, our weather reports have identified an approaching sandstorm. Please await further instructions.
I knew we should have chosen a skirmish game where this wouldn't occur.
We have a real problem.
I'm trying, Claire, but it's just, well, this is who I am.
Not you.
Ah, the dinosaurs. Tell me something I don't know.
Okay, how about this? There's a massive sandstorm headed our way, and it could wipe out the facility. Without power, the safety of the dinosaurs could be at serious risk.
Okay, listen to me, Claire. We'll figure this out. Have I ever let you down before?
Actually, no.
And I'm planning on keeping it that way. Everything we can do, we will do. We've survived worse. What's a little sand?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be there if this was happening in real life. Yeah. Should have waited for that. Waited for the human carcass
Concerned about our current situation.
eat the humans.
As much as I'd obviously love to help out, I'm a little tied up. So, who's gonna protect the dinosaurs?
And our personnel.
Yes, of course. I mean, that goes without saying.
I'm saying it anyway.
It's just, it would be a tragedy to lose these animals again. And by tragedy, I mean huge financial loss. And obviously an embarrassment to those in charge of the DFW.
People such as you.
Well, actually, exactly me. So, how do we avoid that?
Okay, step one, round up the stragglers
repair
and haul
this?
the dinosaurs back into their enclosures. Then we'll work on our safety rings.
This good?
Yes, this is a plan I can support now and take credit for later.
We should definitely try once this is over, with the sandstorm. Let's open the fence and hear the eating human sound effect. Let's see how it goes.
Assets in the air.
The sandstorm is starting to pass. Please resume activity.
The voices are also fading out when we zoom out. This is still kind of weird because other sounds are audible really, really far away.
Asset delivery confirmed.
Señoras y señores, como medida de precaución y por su seguridad, diríjanse al refugio más cercano.
So why could we hear the Spanish one further away? English.
Ladies and gentlemen, as a precautionary measure and for your
Right. Complete.
Arizona was
Don't end it because we want to
dinosaurs
hear
were
the
safe.
human flesh.
Finch and the DFW had what they needed to keep the bureaucrats off our backs. For now. But the future, that was something completely different.
Anyway, we should have listened to that eating human sound. We'll get to that. I'll probably make a video about this at some point. Anyway, game has weird attenuation. Weird attenuation in such a way that actually we'll just.
I wish.
I need to stop anyway. Game has weird attenuation. The thing is that some sounds are audible very far away with almost no filtering. Certain sounds are heard quite close to you. I find that a little not weird, but like kind of like an auditive uncanny that something sounds naturally from a certain distance, but then other sounds do not. Certain sounds, depending on language, seems to be different. So there was some sort of mixing issue, depending on, of course, if it was supposed to come from two different buildings. So one was coming from the shelter, one was coming from something else. Maybe there's an attenuation difference there. We don't know. The dinosaurs in this game sound a little different from the first game. In the first game, I liked them better because they sounded more like dinosaurs. I don't know what dinosaurs are supposed to sound like, but they sounded more animalistic. Here, they sound a little too instrument-like. So, horns and ooh. But maybe we'll get to that when we get to some of the bigger dinosaurs, especially the T-Rex and other animals should most definitely sound like they do in the films, else it'll just be weird. The VO is nice. A little too clean for a radio and a little too much in a booth while being recorded, maybe. That's not really a problem. Depends on how they want it. If they want it to come through crisp so that we have a great experience, that's fine. Sounds like it's a director's choice. And the cars and the helicopters and everything, some things speed up when we speed up the time of the game, while other sounds do not. That's an interesting choice from a directional perspective. I'm not saying that it's wrong or anything, but certain sounds that are changing, other sounds are not. I would have assumed that this would have been set up with a global hierarchy, RTBC and WISE, so that would be controlled in one place rather than in several, which would make sense. Anyway, muchas gracias for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stream. It's a little short, but I have something else that I need to record and do, and I only started playing this game mainly because it came out. I didn't know that it was coming out, so simply taking a good look. But let's go over to exit screen of the game. And you're welcome, Jason. This game was interesting. There was some interesting definitely some interesting stuff here. I guess I should play this game a little more, but right off the bat, it sounds like it's a step down from the first one. But, of course, can't say why. It just seemed like the quality was a little weird. Like, when placing fences, it sounded a little like that the quality of, or the detail added to when moving them about, and also when shaking the building, seems like it was a little too sensitive, a little lacking details compared to what the first one was. But what do you know? Thank you for watching again, everybody. I'll be turning this off in a couple of minutes. Ta-ta.